Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, where's Balavinda?
Who is this?
Where's Balavinda?
Balavinda is joining, I think. Priti Vilasini Mataji?
No Mataji, this is Indu.
Oh, Indu. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji, you're the Mataji of the day, so Balavinda will have her name on her in the Zoom class.
Just a 1 minute, okay? We can wait for others to join.
Yes, Mataji. Now Pranav just got home, otherwise. So we'll join in a bit.
Your Mataji. Krishna. Okay. You know how, Hari Bol, how many of you know what we are learning today?
Gita Mahatmya stories.
Gita Mahatmyas. Yes, what is Mahatmyas means? Glories. The glories of the Bhagavad
The
Gita's
Gita
story. Glories of the Bhagavad Gita's stories. Each chapter, yes. Each chapter has different glories. When you recite regularly, you get a lot of benediction from the Lord. And there is so many benediction is there when you recite each chapter every day. Okay. Let's go from the prayers. We start with the prayers. Okay. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Suram Shri Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Nirvishesha Paschatya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Radhara Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay. You learn yesterday till the third chapter. First of all, we do the Krishna Prabhupada quote, okay, for today. Ryan is already raised the hand. Who did? Okay, Ryan. Last time when I was doing class, Ryan read the course. Today Param can read. Okay, Param,
Okay.
you can.
Mother, can I go after Param?
Yeah, tomorrow maybe you can do. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
19th December. The secret of surrendering to Krishna is that such surrendered devotee sees that everything is part of Krishna's plan. Whatever is meant to be, I am doing. Let me do it with my full attention to every detail. Let me become absorbed in such service, never mind what it is. Let all other considerations be forgotten, and only my desire to do the thing best for Krishna's alone pleasure is my motive. Letter to December 1972.
Yeah, it says here, I know whatever you do the devotional service, I know you all are doing some kind of devotional service, yes? Somebody like to hear, somebody like to chant, somebody offering something, or you offer flowers, anything, offering incense or anything. You all are doing the some kind of devotional service. Prabhupada is saying you do with full attention, okay? Even though you can do a small amount, you can chant one round or a half round, whatever time you engage yourself in the devotional service, you do with the full attention, and then with the absorbed, in the service. If you be in the kirtan, if you do the kirtan also, you can do with full attention. That was the today's quote. Next we go to the chapter 6. We are doing from chapter 4, okay? Not chapter 6. Okay, and now we see here, we are reading the story from Padma Purana. In Padma Purana, there is a glories of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Lord Vishnu first of all recited the glories of Bhagavad Gita to Lakshmi Devi. Now again same recitation is done by Lord Shiva to Parvati. Okay. Mataji already finished till third chapter. Yes, yesterday. Now
Yeah.
I'm going to finish. Start from the fourth chapter. The glories of the recitation. The glories of the fourth chapter. Okay. Lord Vishnu then described the glories of the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He told of names as he told of a saint named Bharata who lived on the bank of Ganges. There, the devoted Bharata daily recited the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He was very, very pious person. Once, Bharata went on pilgrimage to the town of Tapodhana and saw a deity of Lord Krishna. On his way home, he rested under two fruit trees, using the root of one as a pillow and the root of the other as a foot to rest. There, as usual, he recited the fourth chapter. He always used to recite this fourth chapter. He also did same thing while he was resting under the tree. Yes, two tree. Put head in the one tree, leg in the another. When Bharata left that place, both trees dried off and died. The two souls living in these trees took their next birth as daughters of a pious Brahmana. When the girls reached 7 years old, years of age, they went on pilgrimage and happened to meet the great sage Bharata. Upon seeing him, they fell at his feet and said in sweet words, "O Maharaja Bharata, by your mercy we are freed from the form of trees." Bharata heard this with surprise. He didn't know, yes, But when he didn't realize that the tree was relief from their sinful activities. Then the girls told Bharata their story. Dear Maharaj Bharata, in a previous life we were Apsaras, heavenly and gods. Once we were ordered by King Indra to cause the fall down of the sage Satyatapa, who was performing difficult austerities on the bank of the river Godavari. Satyatapa had complete control over his senses and had become so advanced in devotional service to the personality of Godhead that Brahma, the creator of the universe, daily visited him to inquire from him about devotional service. Here you can see this is the Rishi, okay, Satyatapa. But Indra was displeased to see Satyatapa's purity and elevation. Indra worried that this powerful sage would one day want to usurp the position of king of heaven. To prevent this, Indra sent us to the bank of Godavari. They will dance very, they were dancing like not very good way, to agitate the sage's mind. As they dance, you know, they were not even covering the whole body. And Satyatapa he became very angry and saying, "You both go and become a fruit tree on the bank of the river Ganges," because they were not fully covered their bodies. Yes, that's the reason they got a curse. Upon hearing his curse, we fell at his lotus feet and begged forgiveness, for we had acted very badly by the order of Indra's order. Yes, and then Satyatapa saw their repent attitude. He became pleased and told them, "You would live as tree only until Maharaj Bharat came in contact with them." He also blessed them that he would be able to remember their previous life. He could release that. Maharaj Bharata was great devotee of Lord, and he would recite the fourth chapter every day, reminding Bharata that he had rested between two fruit trees. The two girls said they had heard the recitation of the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita after being freed from um, that form of life. They said they had been born in the family of devotees. Since then, they had lost all the desire to enjoy this material world. They had carefully been reciting the fourth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita daily and thus had attained devotion to the lotus feet of the Lord Vishnu. That is the glories of recitation of fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Yes, they were free from the their sinful reaction, and also they were free from all the material desire, and also they get the devotion to the Supreme Lord, and they get a chance to meet the devotee of the Lord. That is the recitation. I only ask you, just everyone lower your hand. I will ask two-person maybe. What did you like? Each and every chapter I'll ask with everyone. Okay. First of all, if somebody can raise the hand. Yes, Janvi already raised the hand. Janvi, can you say? You just raise the hand in here. What did you like from this uh, 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 fourth chapter? The glories of the fourth chapter. What did you like?
I like how read the fourth chapter, and and then in the next slide they become goddess of Brahmana.
Yeah, they were free from the sinful activities, and then they made, yes. Brala Vrinda, go ahead. Two-person I'll ask. Maybe I'll.
So
Then
I really like this story because how they came out of the tree and the story how they came out of the tree, and he was just saying the 4 chapters and they got out of the tree. That's part is very nice.
Yes, I know you recite every day,
So 4th chapter is helpful, and the first sloka of the 4th chapter, if you say it, you're getting the benefit of it, the story, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes. Our fourth chapter is Krishna is giving the history of how he said to Bhagavad Gita to sun god, and yes,
Yeah. Can I
yes,
say something? So,
yes,
yeah, this is why we should recite Bhagavad Gita every single day, so we can get the benefit of all the
yes, yes,
Mahabharata
yes.
stories.
Yes, yes. Vrinda, actually you are, I know Mataji make you to recite every day, almost every day when you are summertime also you're reciting. I don't know school time, but you do. I know that. It's a great example. You are doing great. Next we do the fifth chapter, okay? And I'll ask with somebody else to tell me the some important point. This is the fifth chapter, no sixth. We just finished the fourth chapter. Now we are going to see the glories of fifth chapter. Okay. Okay. Lord Vishnu asked Lakshmi Devi to listen carefully. Yes, you all are listening carefully. I can see carefully as he described the glories of fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. There is all the story. It's very interesting. Okay. Once in a town named Puru, Kutsapura, there lived a Brahmana called Pingala. It's a very interesting story. Maybe many of you already know. Although well educated, you know, he was born in the Brahmana family, but he was not very interested in learning the scripture or learning the in study. You know, he was not very interested in study. That's why, you know, when he reached the youth, he gave up the education. Instead of he started learning the musical instrument and sing and dance. You know, he became so skilled and famous that the king invited him to live in his palace. But his intimacy with the king made him proud. You know, he thinks because king actually put him in his palace. That's why he became very proud, and he became found to criticizing others' oaths, and he took up intoxication and adultery. Means he became very proud, and he started criticizing others. Oh, I'm very good, you are not good, like that kind of habit he developed. And then he had so much of money, he started doing all the bad things, you know. And then Pingala had a wife named Aruna, you know, and who had been born in the low class family, and she was very lusty. And then when Pingala discovered this, because Aruna murdered him, you know, even though he was famous, he was earning so much of money. His wife was not very good. He was always going some other man. And one day, when Pingala found out, Aruna killed him. Thereafter, she enjoyed life with many men, but she soon counteracted a bad disease. Her youthful body therefore became ugly, and before long, she died. Both husband and wife fell in the deepest regions of hell and suffered tremendously. In their next lives, they both became they both took birth as a birds. You know, one is became Pingala became a vulture, and Aruna became a parrot. You know, they did all sinful activities. Because of the reason, one person become vulture, one person become a parrot. One day, while the parrot searched for food, the vulture attacked her. The vulture could somehow remember his past life, and he understood that the parrot had been his wife. After a flurry of fighting, both birds fell down and drowned in a human skull filled with water. They were brought before Yamaraj, And because they vividly remembered their sins, they were frightened. But Yamaraj said, "You are now freed from all sinful reactions and may go to Vaikuntha." They were surprised now, okay, because they did lot of sinful activities, Pingala and with surprise, Pingala and Aruna asked Yamaraj how person of their caliber had the right to enter Vaikuntha, because we were doing lot of sinful activities in our life, how could we go Vaikuntha? Then Yamaraj told them about the pure devotee of Lord Vishnu, who had daily recited the fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. When the devotee, when this devotee was completely free of lost, left his body, he went straight to Vaikuntha because of his recitation of Bhagavad Gita. His body had also become pure. Therefore, when Pingala and Aruna, as the god, had crossed this skull, that skull, once
But
again,
I don't want to spend your much time.
I heard the some that skull, when the both god fell into that skull, that head, that is the all the bones head was, that is the devotee's skull, both of them had achieved freedom from the sinful recitation reaction and attained the right to enter the Vaikuntha. After Pingala and Aruna heard the glories of the fifth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, they became, what happened? Sorry. They became overjoyed, and a flower aeroplane arrived to take them to the spiritual world. Yes. Yeah, somebody raised the hand. Ryan already raised the hand, and another person. Can you say what is the glories of the fifth chapter? Do you like? What did you like from?
Mataji, so the moral of this story is we should not kill somebody or somebody in the next life. If was born like something and kill you too, like easily, like a when and that parrot is just a small bird, but the vulture is a big bird. So who's the strongest? The vulture. So after the wife, if have the wife have if, that when Pingala killed Aruna, uh, Aruna need to kill her back. That is what Krishna says. If you kill somebody, someone in the next life will kill you again.
But they were both free from the sinful activities. How?
By remembering their because that goal was like, I think it was like a devotee's goal.
Yeah, that is the who used to recite the Bhagavad Gita fifth chapter every day. His skull was there, and they both fell in that water. Yes, his body was so pure. They both their bodies, parrot and then Balsar body is fell in that water, and immediately get free, and they also learn this Bhagavad. They also heard that, because that pure water, and they also get maybe purify their consciousness. Yes. Now somebody else can raise the hand to say anybody wants to say something from this chapter. Otherwise I'll go to, nobody wants to say. Balavrinda, maybe you already reached Balavrinda. If somebody else is there, they can, otherwise you can go. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, so Mataji, how they just that pure water was there, and they just fell in it, and they just got all that thing. It's just very like hard, but they just got it, and they went to Vaikuntha.
Yeah, see, even a spiritual master body, they will not put in the fire. Yes, their body is put
It's
in the
very
buried.
it's
Yeah,
very pure, and maybe somebody can get purified.
yeah. When they make a samadhi also in their body. Yes, we go and pray in that place, and we get the spiritual benefit. That is the power of the
Also a
spirit.
day to celebrate, like There's appearance of is
Mm,
Prabhupada appearance like that.
yes, that's true. Suhita, you want to say?
Mataji, my name is actually Spurti Mataji, and like this, that pure water, is that like Ganga or Yamuna? Like what is it, Ganga Mataji?
Ganges,
Or
yes, yes. Ganges. Gangas, yeah.
okay.
Something happened. Okay, now I will go to the 6th chapter. Okay, next we can see the what is the glories of the 6th chapter. We can see here Lord Vishnu. mm, okay. mm. Lord Vishnu then recited the glories of the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita in a beautiful town named Pratisanapura on the bank of the Godavari river. Okay, Godavari river. There ruled a popular king named Janasruti. Okay, Janasruti. He had many good qualities and he daily performed an opulent fire sacrifice and many other pious acts. He gave charity, dug wells, lakes, and so on. Once some demigod went to the king's residence in the form of swan. As they flew above his palaces, the demigod Bhadrasva heard several swans mention Janasruti's greatness, but Bhadrasva laughed and asked, "Is Janasruti Maharaj as powerful as the great sage Raikva?" You know, the king happened to hear the swans' conversation from the roof of his high palace, and he then went down in a happy mood and ordered this charioteer to go out and find Raikva, sage Raikva. Thus ordered, the charioteer departed for holy places. Upon arriving in Kashmir, he saw a sage sitting on a small cart near the door of the temple. The charioteer fell at Raikwa's feet and asked him where he lived, what his full name was, and why he was sitting there. Rekwa thought for some time and replied, I am fully satisfied. I do not require anything. The charioteer understood and returned to once to Pratisthanpura. Okay, he could see this Rekwa. The sales Rekwa was fairly satisfied. He doesn't want anything. Yes. When he arrived, he offered his respect to the king and informed him of all that had taken place. The king then decided to visit the great sage Raikwa, seated on a beautiful chariot filled with the valuable gifts he left for Kashmir. When the king finally met Raikwa and had fallen at his feet, and he placed many silk and jewels before the sages. The sages, however, became angry and said, You foolish king, take these useless things away, put them on your chariot, and leave this place at once. He was angry. Now, with a great devotion, the king fell at Rekwa's feet again and begged to be forgiven. He asked, O sage, how have you attained such a level of renunciation and devotion to the Lord? Pleased by the king's submissive attitude, Rekha replied that he had daily recited the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Thereafter, King Janasruti also began to recite it daily. After some time, a flower aeroplane appeared and took the king to Vaikuntha. Rekva, in the meantime, had also gone to Vaikuntha, where he engaged in the service of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Somebody can raise the hand, okay? Because this the glory somebody can say. Anybody would like to say? Or I could just call who didn't get the chance. Jaya, you want to say something? Did you hear the story?
Yeah.
Did you want to say something?
Yeah, it was a good story.
You like?
Yeah.
Which part you like? Because the glories of the sixth chapter, yes. After listening the glories of the sixth chapter, and after reciting the glories of sixth chapter, both king and the sages went to the Vaikuntha, and they also attained the love of Krishna, love of God, yes, devotional service to the Lord.
My favorite part of all the stories was how even if you do only one chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it's still so good.
Yes, you have to have that dedication for even one chapter is enough. Yes. Shruti, Smriti or Suhurda? Okay, what is your name? You didn't put your name, I think.
Okay, ma'am. And Mataji, his name is Subhadip.
Suhurda.
And Mataji, why the sage didn't accept like the king's stuff is because he was like engaged in the devotional service of Lord Krishna, that he didn't want to accept any charity or like things from the king that he gave the sage.
Yeah, he didn't want anything else. He was fully satisfied because we, in the material, most of the people want to get money or good, very nice item to get happiness. Yes. But he was fully engaged in the service of the Lord. He was fully happy. He didn't want anything so, which is not related to the Krishna. Because king wanted to give lot of jewels, lot of money, all these things. Valuable gift. He didn't want. And he thinks, oh, you think I am attracted by these things? No, I am not attracted by this thing. I am only attracted by Krishna's service. And by this determination, he was happy. The kings were happy. King's servant was also happy. Okay. We already finished the chapter. Now we gonna do the next 7th chapter, okay? And then somebody else I will call, okay? After that, you hear carefully. I will call any random name also, okay? The glories of the 7th chapter. Okay, this is also very beautiful story, okay? Because you are why Mataji arranged this class, because Thursday is the Bhagavad Gita recitation, and when you hear this, all the glories of the each and every chapter, you may have that kind of inclination to recite. Oh, it's very nice recitation of the Bhagavad Gita slokas is very nice. When we recite, we get lot of devotion to the Lord, or we get so lot of opulences, or we get free from our bad karma. That kind of things you also get to know, yes. And oh, already know the glories of sixth chapter, we already know the glories of fifth chapter, we already know the glories of fourth chapter. Already get to know, yes, when we recite the sloka. Okay, after this is the 7th chapter. After narrating how Lord Vishnu had spoken to Lakshmi Devi, the goddess glories of the first 6 chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shiva said to Parvati, now I will tell you the glories of the 7th chapter. Lord Shiva narrated the story of Sankukarna, a Brahmana occupied as a businessman. Sankukarna had so much oil that king used to visit his house to dine. He's a very rich person. But the miserly Sankukarna kept some of his wealth buried. He hid from his relatives, and he never performed devotional act or the ritual for his forefather. He never gave the charity also. Even though he has a lot of money, he never do any good things. Once after his fourth marriage, Sankukarna took rest for the night. While asleep, he received a snake bite and died. He ate in the body of a snake ghost, and he came to reside at the place when he had buried his wealth. Eventually, he became tired to being trapped in the ghostly body, so he appeared to his son in a dream and asked their help. because he buried his all the wealth in somewhere to hide from his relatives. Yes. When his lazy son woke up, they talked about their dream. Then one of them took a spade and went to the place his father had indicated. The son did not know exactly where to find the buried wealth, but he searched greedily until he found the snake hole. As he started to dig, suddenly a huge and appealing snake crawled out and asked, "Who are you? Who sent you to dig here?" Trembling for his life, son replied, "It is me, your son Siva, to whom you appeared in a dream." The snake laughed and asked, "Why the boy?" Asked, the snake laughed and asked, "Why the boy? If needed, his son. If needed, his son had not performed the necessary ritual to free from hellish life." Means he wanted to indicate why you came here to take money. Why not you wanted to free your father from the hellish condition? He wanted to say. The son inquired how to do this. His father replied, I became in this situation because I never give any charity, anything, but and the best charity is to recitation of Bhagavad Gita, seventh chapter, and then I will be free from this birth and death. The father instructed his son to invite Brahmana to recite the seventh chapter during a ceremony to offer obligation to the forefathers. That was we can do for our forefathers this recitation of a seventh chapter. If they are in we don't know what is their condition already died, yes, but it's very good. Okay, here. As this ceremony took place, the Brahmana chanted the seventh chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and Sankarna gave off his frightful body and attained a divine form. Before he left for Vaikuntha, he blessed his sons and told them the location of his wealth. After digging it up, the son whose minds had become fixed in the devotion to Lord Krishna used the wealth to build temples, dig wells and holy ponds, and distribute sanctified food. Moreover, the sons daily recited the seventh chapter of the Bhagavad Gita and quickly attained the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna. Anyone who recites or hears this chapter will free from all sinful reaction. Okay, I'll ask somebody else. Okay, Slok, are you hearing? Or you can raise. If somebody raise the hand who didn't get the chance, they can go first. Okay. Devas Bala, you want to say something from this chapter? Did you hear?
3.2.
Okay, tell me. What did you like?
No, I like all the parts.
You like the recitation, seventh chapter?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
Okay, Param, can you go next? I didn't hear Devas. Param, yes.
Yeah. But what I liked about the story was like at the end part about the Sarah the
Serpent.
yeah about the ceremony, like about like the temples, about the temples being made, and it makes like Christians getting more famous.
Yeah,
If
they
you
recited the seventh chapter and they made
yeah
the temple. They use all the money for Krishna's service. Yes.
yeah, and I really like that part mostly, and I like the whole story, but that's the most thing I really liked about this.
Okay. Next is the eighth chapter. Okay, we are going one by one. Hope you will be okay. You can. This is also interesting story. Okay, you all can hear. This is the 8th chapter, okay? Thereafter, Lord Shiva asked Parvati to listen to the glories of the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. A Brahmana of the name Bhavas, Bhavasramaha once lived in the important town Amaranda, Amaranda Kapura. He had taken a prostitute as his wife, and he enjoyed meat eating, intoxication, stealing, adultery, and hunting. He was very sinful. Once, after a bout of drinking wine, Bhavasrama counteracted a serious disease, and after many days of suffering, he died and ate in the body of a dead plum tree. Bhavasrama was very sinful and ate in the dead plum tree. One day, two ghosts, Brahma Rakshasa, took shelter under this plum tree after unnecessarily after wandering over the earth, hungry and thirsty. By their activities in previous lives, they had eaten these ghostly bodies. One of them had once been the Brahmana who had been conversant with many branches of knowledge and had been learned in the Veda. Another ghost had been his wife, Kumati. है ना? Kusibala and his evil-minded wife Kumuti both were greedy, had been in the habit of collecting much charity daily without ever giving charity to other Brahmana. When they died, they became the ghost. This plum tree, the two Brahma Rakshas came and take shelter. Yes, they both were Brahmana, but they never they only collected the this one. They only collected the charity, but never give the charity. So while these two ghosts were resting under the plum trees, the one who had been the wife asked her former husband how to atone. He replied that by having knowledge of Brahman, the self and fruitive activities, this could be accomplished. Upon hearing this, his wife inquired, "What is Brahman?" How many of you know the Bhagavad Gita? This is the sloka in the Bhagavad Gita. What is Brahman is? What is the self? What are the fruitive activities? This is the first sloka of 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Because she spoke in the Sanskrit, she coincidentally chanted the first two lines of the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Do you know, Vrinda, the first sloka of Bhagavad Gita?
किं कर्म पुरुषोत्तम आदिभूतं च किं प्रोक्त आदिदैवं किमुच्यते की माताजी.
Yeah, this is the first sloka. She chanted half of the sloka. Okay. Upon hearing these lines, Bhavasrama became freed from his tree body and again attained the body of the sinless Brahmana. Even the first sloka he was reciting. All Mataji were teaching all you the sloka. Why, even the one sloka, recitation of the one sloka of Bhagavad Gita, this Brahmana and both Brahmana wife were freed from the Brahma Rakshas, and suddenly a spiritual plane appeared to take the ghostly husband and the back to the Vaikuntha. Thereafter, Bhavasrama wrote down these two lines from the Bhagavad Gita and he went to Kasipura with the intention to worship Lord Krishna by performing great austerities and continuously chanting these two lines Kim Tat Brahma, Kim Adhyatma, Kim Karma Purushottamaha. After some time in Vaikuntha, Lord Vishnu once unexpectedly arose from his rest. Lakshmi Devi inquired with folded hands what had awakened him. Lord Vishnu said, "My dear Lakshmi, in Kasipuri, on the bank of the river Ganges, my devotee is performing great austerities by continuously chanting half a verse of this 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. For a long time, I had been thinking how to reward his devotion." Lord Shiva then told Parvati that Bhavasrama pleased Lord Vishnu so much that the Lord awarded him a place in Vaikuntha to engage eternally in the service of his lotus feet. Moreover, all his ancestors also attained the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Yes, that was the thing. Anybody else? I'll ask somebody else. Okay. Krishna Nayana, do you want to say something? Or Prahlad or Raghav? Anybody?
Mataji?
Yes. Yes. Who is this?
Mataji, who's K?
Yeah, Krishna Nayana was talking, and then after that, Prahlad and Raghav or Krishna Nayana, you can say something.
I was just I was thinking about how like throughout like the chapters we just talked about, I was noticing something how like I can't remember exactly which chapter, but like the vulture and the parrot who was Arjuna and forgot the husband's
Yes.
name, but they
Pingala.
yeah they bumped into
Chapter.
fell into the God devotee, and then they went back to Vaikuntha, and then in here they the ghost lady, she recited half of the first verse of the 8th chapter, and they also went back to Godhead. So I'm noticing like they like go back to Godhead for like even if how no matter how bad they're, for like one little thing they go back to Godhead.
Yes. That is the faith we should have, you know. This, if somebody has a strong faith on Bhagavad Gita slokas, Krishna will surely bless you. Yes, Prahlad and Raghav. Prahlad, I think. Prahlad and Raghav have different one. Want to say something from this verse?
I'm saying something about the story. The story was very good. The one that you just said about the wife and husband, how they got freed because the wife was just saying some of the lines from the verses, and I really liked how it actually helped unknowingly the person.
Yeah, you might know, yes, this sloka. Kim tat brahma, kim adhyatma, yes?
Yeah.
Yes, you all know this. Now we are going to a ninth chapter. I'll call somebody else, okay, who didn't get chance. It's not, don't think. Otherwise, you can raise the hand. I'll call you also after that. Not seventh chapter. Now we are in ninth chapter.
K
Okay.
is here again. K.
What happened?
Who is K? The K?
Mataji,
Yes.
send something in the chat.
Oh, it's okay. That's fine. Who is somebody saying something in the chat? Mm, okay. And now we got to see the glories of the ninth chapter. Okay, Lord Shiva then related he said, Lord Shiva then said to Parvati the glories of the ninth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Once in a town called Maismati, there lived a Brahmana named Madhava. It's also very nice story. He strictly followed all the Vedic injunction, and he was so learned that he always received much charity with which he performed great sacrifices. Yes. Once, however, when he was about to offer a goat in sacrifice, the goat laughed and said, "O Brahmana, what benefit is there in performing this sacrifice, which simply keep one in the cycle of repeated birth and death? Just see my position after performing so many fire sacrifice, you know." He was saying to that Brahmana, Smati, the Madhava. Yes. Madhava asked the goat what activity it had performed in previous life to become a goat. Everyone at the sacrifice gathered around to hear the goat's ode. The goat told them that he had been a ritualistic Brahmana. Because his wife had wanted her child cured of some disease, she had once asked him to offer a goat to Durga, wife of Lord Shiva. As the Brahmana offered the goat, it cursed him, you know. As Brahmana offered the goat, it cursed him. You sinner, lowest of all, you wish to make my children fatherless. The goat is saying, you will also take a birth as a goat. He was unhappy and he cursed. Goat uh, at the time of the death of the Brahmana had eaten the body of goat, but by the grace of Lord Govinda he remembered his previous life. The goat continued. Once in the Kurukshetra there lived a king named Chandrasrama, who belonged to the Sun dynasty. At the time of solar eclipse, the king decided to give a Sudra, a worker, to the Brahmana. After he offered this worker to the Brahmana with so much devotion, after solar eclipse or lunar eclipse, the king they give the charity, wanted to give a charity, a Sudra to the Brahmana. And then with so much of devotion he offered. From that Sudra to Chandala or dog eater appeared from the worker body. Both of them closely approached the Brahmana and suddenly entered this Brahmana's body. However, the Brahmana remained undisturbed, and while remembering Lord Govinda, he began chanting the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The whole event stunned the king. His amazement increased. However, when the Vishnudutas, the devotee of Lord Vishnu, appeared, Vishnudutta ousted the Chandala from the Brahmana's body and drove them away. Then the king asked Brahmana, O learned one, who were those two persons and which mantra did you chant? Which deity did you remember? You know? The Brahmana explained that sin personifies, accompanied by offense personified, had appeared as two chandalas, and he had been chanting the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which can release one from all fearful situation. He informed the king that by chanting this chapter, anyone can remember the lotus feet of Govinda. Even all the offenses can be go away, all the sin personified also go away. No sin can see touch you, no offenses can touch you. Yes, by reciting. Thereafter the king learned from the Brahmana to chant the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and he gradually attained the lotus feet of Govinda. When Madhava heard this narration from the goat, he at once set the goat free. Thereafter, Madhava recited the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita daily. Okay, and this was the story, glories of the 9th chapter. Maybe somebody else say, who we can say. Sanvi, you want to say? I think you wanted to say before. You want to say something?
Sorry, something.
You there?
No, Mataji.
Okay, okay. I will ask from the beginning. Anybody is there? Slok, you want to say something?
Ryan raised his hand, Mataji.
Ryan, can you say?
Mataji, I just want to tell you something. Okay, so Mataji, I don't know what to say, but Mataji, when is the class going to be over?
Class, I'll see, Ryan. We almost finished the class. Means almost the time is there. Maybe I'll see how long I can take. Okay, maybe 5 minutes more.
Okay, Mataji.
And then, is there anybody? Janvi, do you want to say something?
5 more minutes. I'm gonna set the timer right away.
Janvi, you want to say?
It's on timer.
Yes.
I like it. I like the part where he like when he purified his sin.
Yeah. Even though the sin personified, offense personified, entered the body of Brahmana, but he was undisturbed and chanted. So we should have same faith, and then all the things will go away. Yes. Now we're gonna recite we're gonna read the glories of 10th chapter. Okay, 10th chapter. You all are liking these stories. It's a very interesting story. You know the Bhagavad Gita, but to get to know the glories of the Bhagavad Gita, each chapter is very nice. Yes. Next, Lord Shiva.
I like it.
Yes, even I like so much. Next, Lord Shiva spoke the glories of the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. This is actually a little bit longer, but it's very interesting. You can hear it attentively. Okay. Lord Shiva said that the Kasipura there was a peaceful Brahmana named Dhira Buddhi, whose senses and mind were fixed in the glorification of Lord Krishna. Whenever Dhira Buddhi went, Lord Shiva served and protected him with great love. You see, Lord Shiva always protected the devotees of Lord Krishna. Seeing these activities of Lord Shiva, his eternal servant, Vringri Riti asked him what this great devotee had done to merit Lord Shiva's personal service. Lord Shiva then narrated a story. Once, as he sat in the moonlight, a sudden grey when Shiva was okay. A sudden great wind made the trees shake wildly. A shadow was cast all around, and a large bird, the color of the rain cloud, appeared in front of Lord Shiva. The bird said to Lord Shiva, "O Mahadeva, all glories to you, the shelter of all. Your glories are limitless because you protect the devotees, and you are the foremost devotee of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Great soul like Brihaspati, the preceptor of the demigods, sing your glories. But even the thousand-headed Ananta Seta cannot. I think I hear some voice. Can you all mute? One second, okay? Okay. Yeah. Yes. Great soul like Brihaspati, the preceptor of demigods, sing your glories. But even the thousand-headed Anantasesa cannot fully describe your glories. So what to speak of swan like me with such a small intelligence? After hearing this prayer, Lord Shiva asked the swan why he had a black crow-like color. He was a swan, but swan usually is a white, yes, but he was a black. The swan who resembled the swan who resembled the swan carrier of Lord Brahma told Lord Shiva a story. Once the swan had enjoyed in a beautiful lake. Swan always go to the lake. Crow go to the dirty place to collect his food. Yes, swan go to the lake. But on one occasion, when he had wanted to fly off, he fell to the ground and his body turned black. He wondered why, and then he heard a voice from the lotuses in the lake. See? One second. Oh, Swan, the voice said, "Get up, I shall tell you why you fell and turned black." That the lotuses is saying. The very nice lotuses. The swan got up and went to the center of the lake, where he saw 5 extraordinarily beautiful lotuses. From the lotuses appeared a beautiful lady. After circumlating the lady, the swan was told that he had flown over her and thus committed an offense, become black. Because she had felt sorry for him, he had called him. Sorry, because he had felt sorry for him, he had called him back. This lady obviously had extraordinary powers. She told the swan how she had attained them, because that he flew over that lotuses and he became black. But she will tell when wow, got this power, And then he said, in previous life I was Saroja Bandana, a chaste young woman, and when I married, I served my husband faithfully. But one day, I found a black myna bird, and because I took care of it, my service to my husband sackled. So my husband said, I will become a myna in my next life. Which indeed happened, but because I had been chaste, I came in contact with some sages, and one of their daughters uh, took care of me. During my stay with them, I heard recitation of the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita every morning and evening. As a result, I attain the body of the Apsara, a divine girl who is fond of water and can change her form at will. In my Apsara life, sorry, in my Apsara life, I was called Padmavati. One day I saw the beautiful lotus flower in this lake, and when came here, I started to enjoy in the water. At that time, however, Durvasa Muni arrived and saw me naked. Out of fear of him, I took on the form of 5 lotuses. Durvasa Muni's eyes started to emanate uh, fire, and he caused me to stay in the form of lotuses for 100 years. Fortunately enough, though I was able to remember the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, today I was free from this curse. If you hear from me this 10th chapter, you will also able to free yourself from the awkward situation. After completing her recitation of this 10th chapter, Padmavati left in an aeroplane for Vaikuntha. Thereafter, the swan went to Lord Shiva and offered him a beautiful lotus from the lake, from the lake and to little flower. I don't know flower from the lake and told Lord Shiva his story. When he completed his story, he gave up his body and took the birth as Dhira Buddhi. From childhood, Dhira Buddhi was always chanted the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and moreover, in whatever condition of life would hear his recitation would attain the darshan of audience of Lord Vishnu. From this reason, Lord Shiva always served Dhira Buddhi. Dhira Buddhi became so powerful, and Lord Shiva himself served him because he was always reciting the Bhagavad Gita. This is this one. Maybe I will gonna Mataji. Shall I do one more and then what you suggest? Should I
Oh,
stop?
Mataji, Lalitangi Mataji came.
It's
Maybe
okay.
tomorrow, Indu Mataji will do little more extra.
Yeah.
No, it's
Today.
But
okay.
thank you
It's
so
okay,
much, Mataji.
It's okay, Mataji. If she
No, you
wants
are
to do,
already.
she can.
I didn't know. I didn't realize today we have another class because we finished Mataji. Indu Mataji will take care tomorrow. We
Yeah,
finished.
she can finish 2 extra stories. Yeah, two
Yeah.
extra only. Na?
Yeah, two
She can
extra.
easily do. And we
Yeah.
don't have after that tomorrow, after Indu Mataji's class.
Yeah, she can at least take. Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
have another class. She will take over after that also. Okay,
Thank
kids.
you,
Thank
Mataji.
you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
So we finished all the almost how many story Mataji today? Yeah.
We
Six,
did
six, six.
Yeah.
Six.
No, 6. Yeah, 6 maybe. You covered 6.
Hey,
Yeah, because
Seven,
you did
Mataji,
seven,
3 and she
seven
did
Mataji.
6.
I did
three,
7.
it's seven,
Seven.
seven.
7 stories. Yeah.
Mataji,
Seven
today
story.
it's
Thank you, thank
Hey,
you,
because of
thank you
yours.
all the kids for your patience. It's not
thank
easy.
you, Mataji.
These
Yeah,
stories
it
were all
is.
very nice, but
Thank you, Mataji.
continuously
Thank
hearing is so good. You all are
Thank you,
very
Mataji.
nice.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I will stop and in the class maybe
No,
again.
Mataji, you don't have to end. I will take your host. You can leave the
Okay.
call,
Yes,
Mataji.
yes. Mataji will
Yeah.
take care. Yes. Hari
Yeah.
bol. Hari
Thank
Krishna.
you,